I'm going to start by telling you guys a story from way back in the day when I first started running. It was the first time I was ever introduced as a candidate running for Congress in Washington's 9th District. I went to a group that no longer exists anymore, but I was introduced as a candidate, and when they heard that I was running in CD9 against the incumbent, one of the men in the room stood up and said, "Absolutely not. You're crazy. You can't do it." And I think that's really the crux of everything we have put up with time and time and time again, and we are sick of. We have had a machine that tells us you can't fight back against the industrial complex that drops bombs on Yemeni children. We have had a machine that tells us you can't fight for fair immigration. We have had a machine that tells us you can't have single-payer health care. And we've looked at this machine and we've decided to say, we reject that. So we're here tonight supporting and running progressive campaigns and running for office ourselves and fighting for all of this progressive vision because we've realized we can break the machine. We will be the nation that believes that we can empower our workers through education and not saddle them with debt from the second they step off that podium and move their tassels. We have decided that we can be the nation that puts roofs over people's heads and stops them from sleeping in the streets. We have decided that we will be the nation that allows all people to be respected, to have a dignified life, have food on their table, a roof over their head, and lights that turn on when they flip the switch. We're setting up not just our future for ourselves, we are setting up a future for the children that are going to come after us, that are going to grow up after us, that aren't going to have to grow up with income instability, with housing instability. We are setting up a future for them where they don't have to worry if the icebergs are going to melt and if they're going to have to contend with rising sea levels. We're creating a future where all marginalized people, where people of color, where women, where immigrants, where indigenous people, where the LGBTQIA community feels safe and feels heard and doesn't feel like they have to keep a gun in their purse to walk home at night. We're standing together against a system that thinks that this isn't a movement. That tells us it's not a movement, because it's easier to push back against a movement this big and this powerful if you pretend it doesn't exist. So when they tell you that movement does not exist, look at all the people in this room and realize they've come from across the country to be here tonight together to solidify this movement, working across the nation to enact progressive values and get progressive candidates elected to all offices at all levels of government, from the bottom to the top. We aren't just starting at the bottom and working our way up. We're taking the whole thing all at once. This is what revolution looks like. It doesn't always come with a gun and a bullet. It comes with a ballot and a pen in your mailbox. Because working people deserve to be empowered for their labor, not put down. Because 70% of Americans identify as working class. We are told to shoulder the burden of the 30% and say thank you. We say no more. We are entitled to what we produce. We are entitled to participate in our economy. While Jeff Bezos hoards $150 billion worth of wealth, while his workers that gave him that wealth sleep in their cars, we reject that reality. Working people built this country from the ground up, and we will be standing at the top of this mountain once we're done building it. Corporations have had a voice at our table for long enough. It is time that we take back that voice, and if they won't give it to us, we'll pull up a folding chair and we will start shouting. We will be heard. We will be heard in government at a federal level, at a state level, at a local level, county level, water commissioner. We are no longer accepting that we have to kowtow to corporations. We have to let them have this grip on our political system. We know that's not true because dollars and corporations don't vote, people do. I'm really excited for the progressive future we are forcing to happen today. This is the kind of change that we don't have to wait for. This is the kind of change that can happen right now this year. And it's because of all of you that it's happening at all. Because every single person here believes in a progressive vision, believes in single-payer healthcare, in debt-free education, that's tired of us being a follower in infrastructure when we should be a leader, that's tired of waiting for us to step up to the plate and take a swing for green energy. People want jobs, people want to work, and we're tired of being told by corporate overlords that we can't have that. We are saying we can and we will. And if they won't give it to us, we'll take it. My incumbent said that all of my voters are just angry Bernie voters. And if he thinks that's true, oh, he's got another thing coming. This is not angry Bernie voters. This is working people tired of being afraid of a $1,000 emergency. These are working class people who are tired of being saddled with student debt. These are working class people who are tired of watching a guy take millions of dollars from the war industry and be told, I'm surprised bombs got dropped on other countries. This is a district that is tired and that is ready for change. And if he does not see that coming, I'm excited to blindside him in November. Are built on. They're built on people who believe in a vision, who gather at a bar or who gather at a restaurant and who decide that they're going to start the revolution right there over that beer. We are starting revolutions over our beers. But this is how we make progress. We invest in each other. We invest in our communities. We invest in the people that believe in us. And that's the reason that I don't take any corporate money, and I will not, have not, and should not. Because I believe in the people in my community. Because I believe in my neighbors. Because I believe in this vision that we have for our future. And I believe we don't need anyone to dictate what that future looks like. We get to determine now, not corporations, not men like Jeff Bezos, not like the billionaire class. We get to choose what our future looks like, not them. And I believe in the community that believes in me. And so I accept only donations from my community. I accept only donations from people because people are what matter in this movement. People are what make this happen. People are what give our government any kind of power or authority. I only want to be beholden to the people that give me authority, and that's all of you. This is public service, not Public Service Incorporated. But I mean, this is an incredible movement, and just to be a part of it, to be going into November is just an incredible thing for a working class woman that never thought she would do anything more than sign her ballot and send it off. This is an incredible thing, and we need more people who are going to realize their incredible power and their incredible potential. We don't need to wait to bend the knee and kiss the ring of the establishment. If we want respect, we have to stop asking for it. We must demand it. Grassroots campaigns are viable, and they work, and they resonate with people because we talk to people. We don't talk to lobbyists, and we don't talk to special interest groups. We go to people's doors, and we meet them where they're at. So everything you guys do matters. Every person you talk to, that's a mind that's been changed. That's an individual that's going to tell their friends. These are people that are going to talk, and that's why people matter more than corporations. So every single one one of you has made this change possible. Every single person who put on a pair of shoes and grabbed a stack of lit, who logged into the dialer to make a few phone calls to strangers on their day off, who decided that they were going to send text messages and occasionally get the very angry caps lock reply and take that risk, because that's what change is about. That's what revolution is about. It's about taking a risk. And the only risk that we should be worried about taking is one that's on ourselves. Take a risk on your community. Take a risk on yourselves. Take a risk on the people that you love and that you care about who make this country so cool. We don't need to wait anymore to be told that we're okay to step forwards and do our thing and run for office and push for this kind of big progressive change. We're going to do it whether or not they give us the okay, because we have each other. And that's how we're going to survive, is with each other. Because working people know the plight of working people, and that's why we know how to support each other, because we've been doing it our whole lives. So I am incredibly honored to speak tonight. This is just so cool, and it's been so awesome meeting everybody here. But can I get a huge round of applause for all of our organizers? You guys are just like amazing. And we got people here from across the coast. We've got people from South Carolina. From Los Angeles, we've got people from Chicago, from Ohio. I mean, this is awesome, guys. This is our night, and this is our movement. And in November, we're going to repeat this, and we're going to make it our night, but it's going to be a hell of a lot bigger. So thank you guys so much. Stick around, listen to our amazing musical guests if you haven't already been. Talk amongst yourselves, have fun, throw a beer back, cut loose. I mean, you guys made it happen, especially through the primaries. Take a load off, enjoy your vacation.
Donate to Sarah Smith!
And now I gotta make my ask. My biggest ask is keep supporting progressive campaigns. And I know we feel like we've been whittled down, and I know we look at some nights when we're like, oh my gosh, we lost so many. But the fact is, in a movement like this, it's not possible for us to lose. We're taking risks in areas that the Democratic Party previously forgot about or said were lost causes. And even though we didn't win, we brought some extra chairs to bring them to the conversation. Even though we don't win every single time, we change the tone of every single room we walk into. We affect people's lives by showing them this can be done. It can be done our way. It can be done the right way. It can be done with integrity, and we can have clean politics that we believe in. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And sometimes a win is not a victory. Sometimes a win is just changing people's minds. So progressive campaigns don't lose. We just take a break until 2020. But I mean, my big ask tonight is, obviously, of course, I'm going to ask everyone, donate to my campaign at votesarahsmith.com/donate. I got a big hill to climb in the general with everybody. I want to make sure I can afford shoes for all my canvassers to get them there. Check out all the other progressive campaigns that are coming up too in your areas. If you don't know someone who's running who's a progressive, find someone who's running who's progressive. Sometimes it might be you who should be running who's progressive. If you don't have a progressive and you can't find a progressive, be the progressive. Every voice matters, and every person here matters, and you guys have all just done such an incredible amount of work for me and for other campaigns across the country. You guys have really broken your backs and done it. So my big ask is take a night off and then hit the ground running tomorrow, because we got a long road to walk, and this is absolutely a marathon, not a sprint. We are going to need everybody we can get. So keep doing the amazing work that you're doing, keep being involved, keep speaking out. Never feel like you shouldn't speak your truth. Never feel like you shouldn't put truth to power. Every conversation, every time you speak, put truth to power and stand firm in your values, because that's what's going to win people over, and that's what's going to win this movement. It's people. So thank you guys. Thank everybody. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you.